A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second and 11 now. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second and 11 now. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it taking over first and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 23. Now the Auburn product, Corey Graham. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Deron Harmon right there on the coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here we go. Quit talking about it.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 38. Here's Grant. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Grant His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Lions take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 34-yard line.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Stanford. This complete to Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Set, 280. 56.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Grant, 81 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Set, 280. Watch the run, watch the run. Alert flare, flare. Check 26, check 32.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Nickel Roby-Coleman there defensively. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Waiting. Hey, Ford, Tokyo. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. Here's it. 51 to Mike.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. They find some open field here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the 1st down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Let's go, defense. Our
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Sunday. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Wentz going to throw. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
I will remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points so you know that all the...
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smarter
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Jannard Avery. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Easy, alert!
The final shot before the break, Stanford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deone Bucannon. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Next player to kick off for Detroit.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That kickoff return 104 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Hey, watch it. Watch the ship.
On third down, Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go back to Grant. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jared Davis drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
40 got.
Now Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Now this throw caught left side. It's a big play there for the Lions. 51 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
On first down, it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by one more.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the pick-6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deone Bucannon. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He gets it to Cooks. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. And that one results in 35 yards.
No. Let him X3.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Grant, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Corey Grant, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Elliott on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. A shotgun snap for Stanford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Pass from Stafford, caught by Amendola. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
A gain of 16 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Yeah, that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
This is Grant. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36. A gain of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They will run with Grant. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 37-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down and 4, Wentz toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Philadelphia, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.